to speak at a decent pace so that India can capture what you're saying.
We had formed a neighborhood association, and there were 2 other neighborhoods that named their neighborhoods with signs. So we chose to do a Nixon Times Garden. It's named after Edgar D. Nixon and Lucille Times, which Miss Times lived on Hope Street, Mr. Nixon lived on Clinton Street. So now I live 1 street over, and that's where the garden was. It's at the corner of Emerson and a little street we call Broadway Street. There were 2 houses that were there for so long, and we kept after them until they condemned them. And then the weeds got as tall as I was, and I started calling them about that. And when we decided we wanted a garden, after they had cleaned the property up and everything, we told them we would like to have our garden there. And they were 100% in support of it. And for 8 years, we worked the garden. We had functions in the garden. We had great big functions with Church of the Highlands. They came out one Saturday morning and out there all day and cooked and ate the food from the garden. We had veggie pizza. It was so much fun. I have pictures of it, but I had the most pictures I had of them were in my phone, and I lost the phone. But I should have gotten them out. But it lasted for 80 years, but what happened, the community was not participating anymore. There was other agencies who would come out on Saturday mornings and help me. And of course, every Saturday morning I would have to be there. And I would have to put all this out of my storage house, the hose and the water coolers and everything. But it was a lot of fun. But then Miss Enid Proby came out and did us a mosaic wall. But everybody that came to that garden, even the little ones, had their hands in some of that mud and stuff to put the mosaic up. But after the 10 years were up and I couldn't find any help, I just had to write the city and tell them I was thankful for the property that they let me use. Oh, and we got a grant and put a 6-inch fence up. And that's when the people really got upset with me, saying that was, I think it was my garden, but that was in the long-term plans. You know, when you get grants, you have to do short and long-term plans. And that was our long-term plan with significance.
My grandmother would be able to pick food out of her front yard and use it, but when they started spraying for weeds, they killed all of that for medicine plants and everything. And so what I would do with the money is stop all those harmful chemicals from killing everything, all the natural food resources, and I would integrate into school systems how you can use what's surrounding you as a food source. I would teach that in the school systems, and then perhaps if people have to use what's around them for food and resources, maybe they'll take better care of it in return. And we also talked about who we would partner with is the school systems and the universities.
I think we were talking about if we had infinite money and power, you'd be able to really create a community and sort of have manufacturing where you can not just go from the community, you can go global And at the same time, you can have an economic wheel where you're employing people from the community and educating them as well, and try to get like-minded partners on board to help you with your objectives. So long after it becomes sustainable, so long after this generation is gone, you know what? It's still there and it's working.
Did you name any specific partners when you were thinking about those like-minded people? Did anyone come to mind?
I couldn't, I mean, not right offhand, but we know that they're probably out there.
We had several themes, and we were building off the notion of the Tuskegee's plan to build their urban agriculture, and we were saying to partner in that with the culinary school at Trumbull.
Oh, at Trumbull. Okay.
And
Carver High School has a culinary program
Carver,
as well.
because along the idea of you have the food hall and you're serving the purpose of trying to alleviate sort of a food desert. We all know that term. So let's bring the culinary students into this. Let's look for a way to began to do some sort of reparations. We didn't get 40 acres and a mule. Had we gotten that, would have changed everything. We didn't get that, but could this become sort of a hub that extends out into the Black Belt where we do have lots of land and so forth, and draw on the history of the Tuskegee Extension Service and George Washington Carver, and let's push out into the Black Belt using the urban agriculture and food hall and all that as a hub and a headquarters for training. And in what you're doing out in the Black Belt, be sure that you are not just enabling 2 or 3 big farmers, but you have a lot of small farmers and so forth. And then we have all that sort of operating and working, and then let's figure out a way to connect it to the schools and to the families in this area, particularly looking for ways to connect youth ages 10 to 18 to this education, to their history, and to the concept of figuring out ways that you can actually have jobs, make a living, and not just minimum wage jobs, but jobs that actually will support families and a community. I think that's the essence of what we say.
That is beautiful. You said a whole lot there. Talked about the elixir, how back in the day you kind of had that one thing in the cabinet that was like a fix-all, and so in having unlimited money and unlimited power, we control licensing and all that. So maybe an elixir, we moved on to the conversation of herbal gardens and kind of the farm to table concept that led to a larger idea about shared kitchens, and then that led to an in-depth conversation about an in-house operation where we would do the food licensing, we would take care of the product development, we would become a business incubator for all those different things. And so talks about alternate fuels in the products for our garden. And then so overall, I think we created a teaching neighborhood where you would incorporate housing for people coming in to learn about what we're doing, economic development. We've already marketed a couple of products, the alternate fuel, the elixir. We had a conversation about more about the alternate fuel. That's very interesting. I couldn't remember if the sunflower field in Billingsley actually was part of the sunflower fuel project thing. I don't know if they did that there, but I think in somewhere I was reading about it, the high school students actually took seeds and things from a local sunflower field and created different types of fuels, and they actually were able to find one that actually made an automobile run. Don't know what happened after that, but I thought that that would be something really cool, especially with Alabama being an agricultural state. We probably do have the soil to create something like that. So kind of that teaching neighborhood again, providing housing, economic development through product development, that sense of community. Georgia Gilmore came up again in our conversation. She would probably be the brand that we would push. Putting her story out there would hopefully encourage people to come and visit us. Our partners, of course, Tuskegee University, but also other community colleges and other institutions. Alabama State's Small Business Development Center, the Wellness Coalition here, culinary schools, state and federal agencies. Agencies like the regional planning commissions who don't get a lot of love, that's partially our fault. Tech companies supplying the products that we would use in the kitchens, you know, if they are creating technology that helps make smart kitchens, they would sponsor us. You know, just having that additional income doesn't hurt. Cooking, facts. So, cooking product companies and county extension offices, like we could have run the gamut with, you know, the number of partners we have, but those are the core of our ideas. Did I miss anything?
Well, I think we were like on the same page. I think we were pretty much talking about like the agriculture component all the way through the transformation to the culinary and food laws. So we were, you know, pretty much saying the exact same thing.
I love the education.
Rolling through the city. We just some southern country girls. We just some southern country girls. Say we be out here trying to get it. Rolling through the city. We just some southern country girls. We just some southern country girls. You see them west side girls, they be known for snapping. Braided hair, baby.